All right, here we go again on the 1978 Toyota truck. And so last time I was fitting in the floor, I had that spot welded in, and now you see I got it all burnt in, but just sort of rough grinded in at this point. Didn't get it perfectly flush quite yet, but the tab technique over on this side, that worked out real good, and so I'm definitely going to do that again. What I learned from this is it'll probably be easier to rough cut on the passenger side and then get a panel and then probably cut the floor to fit the panel than the other way around. So we'll see, but it turned out pretty good. And then you can see some burn in here. I had already done the bracket. One thing is you can see there is a little bit of oil canning on it, but the bracket's not bolted to the body yet. You see I don't have a hole here, and so my hope is that when I actually bolt this to the bracket that's up underneath, to the frame, that it'll suck that down and then a bit of oil canning will go away. If it doesn't, then I'll probably do like a poor guy bead roll and just hit it with a hammer and get some dents in that so it doesn't oil can the way that it is. But yeah, the tab on that side worked real good. I was able to get that welded to the brace. I was able to fill in all that stuff just fine. And so yeah, this is looking way better than it was, that's for sure. Up underneath here, so you can see, I had really good penetration on everything, which is good. That's where these little nubs here is where I'd use like that filler wire in order to fill in some of the other gaps. But yeah, real good penetration everywhere, so happy with that. And then this is the bracket that I made out of 16 gauge, and so this is just a flat piece of 16 gauge that I cut some 45s in it and then bent it in order to fit here, and then cut a piece on the edge and then bent this down as well. My guess is, the other ones are so rotted out, is that they stamped them. You can see on the back one, it's also 16, and then, it's gusseted along this whole side. I don't think that's the way the other one looked, because you could just see by the way the layout of it is that it doesn't look like that. It looks like it was just stamped, or they like rolled it in order to get some strength here. And so, I actually think that the one that I made, where it's boxed in all the way around, was actually stronger than whatever they had from the factory. So this box that's all the way around it is going to be real strong. You see, I just have it tacked in at this point. This frame's all up in the way, and getting my welder, and there's no way I would weld back there, and then even getting in these corners sucks. And so, all the tacks will hold it on just fine for now. You see that I got the old body mount that's in there, and it's not attached quite yet. And so I'm going to do the other side, and then, drill the holes for that and suck that down. And then when these ones are mounted and solid, then I'll come back over here, and you can see in the passenger, in the rear, it's not as bad. Like, this bracket's in good condition, but the floor is pretty well gone. And so when I take this all apart, I'll see I might just take the cab off after I get those ones done. And then on this passenger side, it's in a bit worse condition. I think this is where the seat belt, not the seat belt, the seat goes, and this is rotted out pretty bad. But if it's at least in the right spot, I could probably, take this off the frame and not worry about anything moving around here and repair it instead of having to be all crappy up underneath it. Be able to work on it a bit easier. This one's not so bad, but that cab corner you see is just completely wasted. So that's going to be real fun. And so, yeah, I'll just end up doing the same thing over on this side. And so, like, I'll, cut all this out. I'll have to figure out how big of an inner rocker patch I'm going to tackle at this point. I mean, you could see so much of the inner rocker. I mean, it's, God, I mean, at least to there, because you could see it, and it's probably even further back. And so I'll see once I get that cut out and all this out of the way, this thing up out of the way, how big of a inner rocker patch I got to put in order to feel like it's fine for me to burn in a bracket onto this side as well. And then obviously doing the floor. So yeah, just more of the same. I did notice that I got time away from me, and I just get to working and I don't even think about this stupid camera. And so I'll set a timer this time, so maybe these aren't quite as long, but it also means like I'll stop whenever I stop. And so we'll go. Oop, what did I do? So 10 minutes from now, I guess, is however long the video will be. Putting the tires in there to at least have some weight on this, because you saw that stupid thing bouncing around. And that 10 minutes goes by quick. Alright, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I'm putting holes and then looking on both sides to see what's on the other side and how bad the rust is. And then I'll just connect the dots and cut out everything that's in between. And so, you know, like I said, it'd be nice to stop. You can see where they got the bead rolls on stuff. It's nice to keep as much as that I can, and then if I do have to cut out any of the bead rolls, like this is all wasted up in here, so that has to go. But like, you know, stop it in the middle of a flat spot, I don't really want to do that, so I'll probably end up taking it all the way to here, and so that way I'm welding instead of it being flat here and oil canning like it is on the other side. It welds along this seam, and then, you know, the other side won't bend. And so since I got to get to at least here, because I looked underneath and it's bad, I probably will end up cutting all the way to there, and then this is bad all the way to here, and so this side's going to be much bigger than the other side, unfortunately, but it looks like I'll probably end up cutting all along that, and I'll end up losing all of that bead roll there, so I might redneck something in order to get it some structure, because it'll be a big flat panel otherwise. And then, you know, just make a big old cut all the way to there, and then, you know, this metal is good because there's a brace right here, and so, you know, I might make this one in 2 panels. I'm not sure yet. It's got this little curve on it on the bottom, and so I'll get it all cut out. I'll see what I got going on, and then once it's all out, then I'll start figuring out how I want the panel to be. So that's it for today. Catch you on the next one.